Morning guys, hope you're okay in this lockdown that we're living in. So sometimes when we're stressed, our body can become really tight. We carry a lot of tension in the neck and upper back area, sort of through the thoracic region. So today I'm just going to dedicate it for all those people out there who are suffering from neck, upper back. My niece is having a lot of pain, so lots of people who often from that forward position, we're sitting working at home a lot, so our chairs are not set up properly, we're not in alignment, so it can affect the neck, the upper thoracic, the lower back, and obviously the hips become really tight. I'm also going to be doing some leg runs at the end as well, and some feet, just because that's where I'm particularly tight, especially after my 50k 50 burpee a day challenge, which you all have been amazing, and we've got over £1,300. I couldn't have done it without you. So without further ado, if you've got a problem on one side more than the other, always start on the side where you have got no problems, and then you know what the stretch is supposed to feel like. So I have a slight issue on this side from an accident, so I'm going to start on this side. So I'm just going to take it up and round. And for two, this video is also really good for anyone post-surgery, provided you've obviously been given the go-ahead. So I do a lot of similar things with my breast cancer ladies. And then just bring the elbow and round. And again, try and get the shoulder blades together so you're feeling a little bit of a stretch through the pectoral area. And then hand on, and circle, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then the other way, for 4, for 3, for 2. I should have put bright pink on today, shouldn't I, because it's pretty miserable out there. And then again we go 1. If this is too much, go back to that hand on the shoulder, the short lever one. And 4 the other way. So ability drills are really good to just get the messages to the brain that our joints are working well. And again, try that other side. And again. So try and keep the shoulders down. And then bring the elbow up if you can. And circle. And 2. And 3. And 4. And then the hand and circle. And 2. And 3. And 4, and if it the other way, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then into that. So these are often exercises that, unless you're in a class situation, you don't really do. And we'll go the other way, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then into a little bit of neck work before we do a little bit of protraction, retraction. So a little chin parallel to the floor. I'm not great at this, I slightly tilt to one side, but we'll try. And just turn and back to centre. And again. And 3. Just try and push it a little bit. So first we're mobilising, so we don't have to go to the end range. We're just mobilising before we stretch. And then on the stretch one, just go and try and push it a little bit more. Take a breath in. Exhale. And again. Back to centre, and again push in the other direction, just push it a little bit, take a breath in. And back to centre, and then into the lateral flexion, so right ear, right shoulder, keep that left shoulder depressed, and the other way. I don't like using that word depressed, guys. Not at the minute, because I think everyone's feeling a little bit down, just missing families and friends I'm smiling because my amazing, beautiful goddaughter had a baby boy yesterday and she smashed it. And 2, and 1, and then the next one, try and just hold it, push a little bit, depress that shoulder, and then circle, and circle, and circle. You might hear some crunching. And 2, and 1, and if you can, just take the hand behind the back if you can, and just gently pull a little bit. This should be enough for most people. If you're lucky and you have no issues with your neck, then you may be able to take that chin towards the chest and just look down towards the floor. And again, breath in through the nose. Neck is one of my favourite areas to massage on people. They get so much relief. And again. So I'll tout my massage business while I'm on. If you obviously can't do anything at the minute, just take it down into that end range and again depress that opposite shoulder. But hopefully my doors will open again on the 3rd of December. So I've got a 15% discount on massages. Take it down if you can. Oh, and you feel it right up the levator scapula, that sternocleidomastoid, all through the side. And circle. Circle even. Circle. Or if you want to buy a loved one a massage. Or for those ladies and men out there who don't like sports massage, it's a little bit too intense, then I can just do a nice Swedish massage with a nice warm bed. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of protraction, retraction, protraction, particularly the retraction, because a lot of the time now we're a little bit forward shouldered, forward head. Oh. If you feel silly doing this, imagine how I feel with all of you watching me. And then just do some little circles. And the other way. This is when often you hear that bubble wrap. So if it's painful, make the circle a little bit smaller. Gently back and just give it a little bit of a rub. Just get some heat on it. Often people say when you've got an injury, is ice best, is heat best. I find that ice, when it's first done, first sort of 48 hours ice, and then after that heat feels really nice. Okie dokie, so we've just done a little bit through the shoulder, a little bit through the neck. There's lots of other stuff to do, but we've got quite a lot to get through. So I just want you to take your unaffected arm out and protract and retract, protract and retract, protract and retract, protract, retract, then protract, take the thumb back and retract. So again, just working into the scapula. These exercises are really nice to do on the roller, on the floor, which I'll show you a couple of exercises in a bit. And then you can do the stretch of the deltoid, the shoulder, pull it across. And then gently back, and the other side, protract. So after all them, I think I did 700 burpees in total. Something like that. My shoulders there a bit clicky. And again, take it out and retract. And retract. And again, you'll notice on this side I struggle a bit with keeping that shoulder depressed. And well done. Then into the deltoid, so just take the other arm. You can pull it straight or you can bend that hand. Elbow, whichever one feels good. Just pull it across. imagine it's quite a hard one, this one, I'm not here to see. Imagine that you've got sort of like a thoracic glide, so you've got, I always think of like a puppet on a string, like Pinocchio or something. But if you imagine a string and it's pulling your breastbones, well, try not to bring the shoulders into it, but I might have to show the shoulders just to show what I mean. So you're protracting, so as you are putting, bringing the breastbone forward, the back is the shoulder blades coming together. And then imagine that you are depressing, pushing that breastbone back, so you're rounding through the shoulders. Yeah, so you are that position and rounding, that position and rounding, yeah, or that, round, yeah. Try not to move the lumbar spine, just the upper, so rounding. Or you can do a little mini cow, cat to cow in this one, so you chin to chest, take the hips backwards, a little bit of softness in the knees, and you just bring yourself down to the knees, and then you're sticking your bum up, so stretching the front of the body, and then round, and so you start feeling the stretch all the way into the lower back, rounding, and this time bring yourself up and circle back round. And let's just give ourselves a couple of pelvic circles, softness through the knees, think about the pelvis. Yeah, so the hip bones east to west on the clock, the pubic bone the other way, and belly button north to south. And just notice, even when you're doing a pelvic circle, does there feel any tension in the lower back? And 2 and 1. Well done. And then we're just going to come, we're going to do the legs. Normally we would do a roll down, but I want to get down onto the floor today and do some, there's quite a bit on YouTube that legs from into downward dog and into all the lovely hamstring calf stretches, which I love, but there's quite a bit on YouTube already. So I just want to focus more on the upper and lower, so the lumbar spine and the thoracic today. So I just want you to come down onto the floor, and I'm going to show you on the roller, but all these exercises, I know some people have rollers, but majority of you won't. So I'm going to show you on the roller, but just follow exactly the same instructions on the floor. So you will be lying on the floor now with the feet down. If you're on the roller, then you just need to make sure that the head is completely connected and your bottom as well. I'm only little, but most people fit on okay, so don't let the head fall off. A little bit of a chin nod, so you've got that sumo distance between chin and chest, nice length through the neck as well. Length through the front of the chest, arms down by your side. So the same scenario on the floor. And again, just think about that and drinks across the tummy. Give yourself some pelvic imprint and release. Imprint, release, imprint, release. And then find that position where the pubic bone and the hip bones are level. So we've got a little bit of core connection, the ribs are down, and we're just going to take our arms up. So again, we could do that protraction, retraction. Sometimes we've got lots of muscles that insert into the shoulder blades, and we often don't move them. We can get a little bit of nerve pain, a little bit of a trapped nerve. So we just want to work the scapula a bit. Try and keep the shoulders down, try and keep the ribs connected, and then just take one hand backwards and one forwards. Without letting the ribs come with you, because the ribs take the back out of alignment like that if the ribs are coming up and out. And then back again and the other way. And again. So normally my left side is worse, but what can sometimes happen is you overuse the side that doesn't have any pain, and that can in turn become overworked and start to just cause a little bit of tightness, which happens a lot post-surgery. We concentrate on mobilising and stretching the surgical side, or even just if we have any pain. So sometimes, you know, if you get a trapped nerve or you just get some tight muscular pain, you become frightened and stop using it, and then the fascia becomes even thicker, and yeah. So just try and move. You might not get all the way back, just go to where you can. On the next one, just take it to about your eye line, and then the hand that's down near the leg comes up and the other hand comes down. So they, in theory, take the place of each other. And then you come back up again. Switch again, so scissor, and back up again. So these are all movements for the shoulder area. So the shoulder's a ball and socket joint. And the more mobile we make our joints, the better the messages to the brain. Obviously we want to stabilise them with strength as well. Because the ball and socket does a lot of movements, it can lack a bit of stability, which is why things like plank and push-ups are really good for stabilising. And again. So take your time in this one. If you're unsure of the movement, just stop the video and watch. Try not to overthink it. Close your eyes, use scissor, and I think of it as making 2 semicircles with each arm. And again. And so how often would you do this? If you weren't watching a video now, we just don't mobilise enough, we don't stretch enough. And 2, and 1. And then just take them out to the side. And then turn the palms down and bring them back to the floor. And then can we bring them up to shoulder height? Turn the palms up. Can we get them overhead? Don't worry if you can. It's going to be easier on the floor actually, obviously, harder on the roller because you are already a distance away from the floor. So just go best to move a little bit and not to move at all. Usually when we get to 80 to 120 can be a little bit painful, so just go easy through that range. And gently down. And then again, a little bit for the neck, because the neck's all very much connected to the thoracic area as well, and the pectoral muscles. So we're just going to gently take right ear, right shoulder, push a little bit, and gently back. And the other side, and gently back. And again, and back. And the beauty of having a roller is that you can really increase that core strength. So just because I'm going to send this video, hi Gillian, to one of my lovely Haven ladies who dials in from a different part of the country, I told her that I'd just show her a couple of exercises on the roller. So this is great for everyone. So like I say, after surgery you can get a little bit protective of the scarring, a little bit forward shouldered. Can lots of people who work at computers or row or cycle. So that's the loveliness of the roller. It opens up the chest. So just draw the core in. If you've bought a new roller and you find it's a little bit hard to lie on, particularly if you're very slim, you've got quite a bony spine, then you can always lay just a nice soft blanket on it. So a little chin nod. Bring the right leg up to tabletop. And just notice that my hip bones and my pubic bone are level. I'm not going into the roller like that, and I'm not arching forward. So my ribs are down, my core's connected. And you can just start doing a little bit of movement through this, just to see if you can stabilise. Take it down, keep the core engaged, lift, take it out, And if you feel that you've got the strength, you can then take it into your single leg stretch work. So you bring both legs up. Imperative that the ribs are closed. And again, you take the right leg out, draw it back in, keep the core engaged, navel to spine, ribs down. And 2. You might start a little bit higher with the leg first. You might just start to there. And then you'll start getting that bit lower. But only take the leg low if you can maintain that pubic bone in line with the hip bones. So we're not doing a traditional Pilates class today, otherwise you will be doing a lot more of it. I just wanted to show Gillian that and anyone else who's interested in roller work. Okay, so there's all kinds of work that you can do on the roller. We might use it again just to show you a couple of stretches, a couple of moves to kind of help the muscles a little bit. So if you come off the roller, if you were on it, or if you're on the floor, obviously you would have been doing that same work on the floor. You can, again, on the floor do arm movements as well. Yeah, the important thing is that you keep the ribs in and down at all times. Okay, so let's just do a little bit more work for the back area. So if you take your arms out to capital T, so this gets a little bit more into the sacroiliac joint and a little bit more kind of the lower back as opposed to the upper, but it's still a nice move for the whole of the spine. So glue your legs together, you take the knees to the right and the head to the left. Try and keep your shoulders down. Take a big breath in as you let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the tummy in, back to centre and the other direction. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the navel in, back to centre. Let's do 2 more each side. If you do my classes, you know I love this stretch. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the navel in, back to centre and the other side. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the navel in, back to centre. Just noticing, do you carry more tension on the left side? Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the navel in, and the other side. I carry more tension here through the right side. I've got a slight problem with my foot today after a hip clash yesterday where I probably didn't warm up well enough because I woke up really late. So my class was at 8:15 and I rolled out of bed at 7 minutes past. So yeah, it just shows you. So I've just got a little bit of tenderness in the right side of my foot. So it just travels, it shows you how connected the body is. So that's a really nice one. Another nice one to do is where you cross the leg over and you take the knee in one direction, the head in the other. So Abby, if you're watching this, darling, yeah, it'll get into the SI joint, but it might travel a little bit up into the near the lat dorsi area. And then again, gently back up. And go over again. Inhaling, letting the belly rise. Exhaling, centre. And switch. And the other side. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, draw the tummy in. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, centre. Be honest with yourself. How often would you do this? I wouldn't have come in today if I hadn't have promised my clients that I would start doing some more exercises. I love stretching, but they are often the things that I neglected the most. Well done. Just from that position, we're just going to lie into butterfly stretch just to get some relaxation before we do a little bit more through the upper thoracic spine. So just lay and you can place your hands on your abdomen And just let the belly fill the hands on an inhale, so let the belly become big. Exhale, release. And again. The last one. And then gently back to centre. And then just come over to lay on your side. Quite difficult this one to teach when I'm not there. But I want you to just try and think about headlights on the hips. So the hips are facing the camera. So we're not rolling the hips backwards. So again, just lying. All we're going to do is literally take that top hand, open the window, follow with the hands, and then just take it back. And close it back down. And again, follow the thumb with your eyes. And then let it just open. So if you're tight, sometimes we get really tight. You imagine if you cooped over, not cooped, what's the word I'm looking for? Slumped over a computer, you are shortening the pectoral wall, the front of the chest. And often when you massage someone through the collarbones, they're surprised how tight they are. Same with cyclists. And then gently over. If that felt like not very much, then you can try this one, where you follow your eyes to a 12 on a clock. Keep the core engaged, the hips facing forward, and then circle it round. Yeah. And then gently back. The hips might go a slight bit, but try not to let them if you can. Keep the core engaged, follow to 12. And then start moving. You can always put a big cushion under the head, guys, if it bothers the head. It's quite nice to have a cushion here. I've not come prepared. And again, one more. And you feel it everywhere. And then over. And then gently come up. Just before we do the other side, just a little bit for the hips. I just want you to, a lot of people are tight in the hips, keep the legs nice and wide. So the first level is you just literally move side to side, just like that. As Tommy Goop said, nothing too major. Yes, I'm waiting in anticipation of Jade's my goddaughter, so I'm calling him my great godson. We've not got a name yet. We've got a couple top of the agenda, that two. And once, that's a good one to do. And then a really nice one is to sit in like what I call a shin box or a Z leg. And again, take the hands, so you've got the front foot into the inner knee of the other side, the inner thigh, basically, of course. And just side to side. So this should be a really nice fluid motion. It shouldn't be a clinky one. Yeah? Just side to side for the hips. You may be able to do it like that. It's quite tough without any hands. Yeah? Another one to do, another nice hip one to do, is drawing the core in and up. Again, you may want something underneath the knees. Remember the patella is bony, so it sometimes can feel quite uncomfortable. Don't be alarmed if you can't do this. Start with the mobilisations first. There's a lot of people that struggle with this move. Really good. And try if you can to keep the pelvis as still as you can. Fine on that side. Try on the other. So again, it may feel not quite as fluid. So try and do quite a lot of these. Yeah. Again, you can try with. It's hard. I've not done these for a while. I can tell I'm a little bit tight in the back. And again, that way. Yep. So already already, can you see I'm slightly tilted? So you will have a much stronger side. I can tell Dr. Eric Cobb will be telling me off. I've not been doing my hip mobility drills. And 3, so you really want to aim for about 15 of these. Yeah. And 4, or if you can't do them, just go back to the mobilisation ones. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. And that leads us on to this side, doesn't it? So again, hips facing forwards, hand on the top, and we'll just, it's something really, really simple to start with. Just follow and just opening up through the chest area. And gently back down. And again, I need to come in and sweep my room from yesterday. I had dirt trains on. That's the problem with lockdown. I've been disinfecting and bleaching everything religiously for clients to come in, and now they're not in. I've got a bit slack this last few days. Apologies. And then just gently, I would never make an Instagram sensation, would I? And then just follow. Try and keep the hips nice and still and gently over. Oh, see this one? My hand's not on the floor because I'm tighter through. Like I said to you, can you remember the left side? Gently over. So the right side, I kept my hand on the floor the whole way. This side, it's just too much for me. And then over. And again, release. You almost need someone to just hold the hips for you. And people feel it in all different ways. Some people feel it a lot more through the pectoral wall. Some people feel it more through their back. That one. See, even on the 4th one there, let's try again. This is my more injured side, if you like. Can you notice? I didn't even think about that. My hand stayed down on the last 2 because it's mobilised a lot more. Yeah, through that area, even though it is clicking. Okay, well done. And then I just want you to come onto your front. The old favourites are sometimes the best. So I just want you to stick that butt up in towards the ceiling. The head the other way. So just notice what you're doing here. You are stretching the front of the body. Take a breath in. Slowly start taking the tailbone, so you are rounding it, rounding, rounding, rounding the upper thoracic, chin down, keep the chin where it is, and again, round again, and back. And then just take it to centre, take the hips to one side and let that shoulder elevate towards your ear. So you are feeling a stretch in the lat dorsi muscles, yeah, running down the side of the body. And the other side. So you're not just going side to side with the hips, which feels quite nice, you're actually going like that. So you're feeling the side of the body. That lateral stretch. We'll do a couple more when we're stood up. It'll stretch the side of the body. And then let's combine the 2. Take the hips in one direction, hips in the other, and circle. And the other way. And back into cow pose. Round. And then back. And this time, to work on the upper thoracic, take the right hand, thread it through. Turn, really turn the head. Take a breath in. slowly back, and the other side, thread. Take a breath in. And then gently, and then into a big toes together. Sit on as far to the heels as you can, and let yourself down, and just have a gentle glide. Walk both hands to one side. Reach if you can, so abs, if you're watching this one, try and reach that top hand over the bottom. Feel the stretch all through the mid-thoracic, through the lat dorsi, serratus muscles. Take a breath in. Back to the other side. And again, breath in. And then gently into that 4-point kneeling position. Tuck the toes under. And we'll just do a little bit for glutes and quadriceps and hamstrings. Some more through the bottom. If you're not interested, you can just finish the session, but this is more for legs. So the other part was more for my knees, and my ladies who suffer with shoulder back problems. If you've got lower back, I would definitely stick with the video, because working through the hamstrings, if the hamstrings are tight, it can pull on the lower back. And we're going to do a glute stretch as well. So again, if your glutes are tight, particularly around the piriformis, it can lead to some sciatic type pain, SI problems. So again, so this was my problem yesterday. I think I said in class we didn't do enough stretches at the end. This time I'm just going to take the right heel down, feel that deep stretch in the calf, hold. And switch. Again, notice if there's much more tension on one side, so again the right side of my leg was tighter than the left. And then just come back a little bit to take that leg high, and then externally rotate through the hip as you are taking the heel to the opposite butt cheek to open up that hip. Hold, take a breath in. Obviously if you've got shoulder issues, this won't be appropriate because it will be hurting a little bit too much. So go easy and maybe just come into pigeon from a normal front position. So with pigeon stretch, I don't know if you can see, but that knee is not in like that. It's out to the side into a right angle. And you just hold it down. You should be able to feel a stretch. You can mess around and find that position where you're feeling it in your bottom. And from pigeon, I like to come into, you might need a band, some people go like that, and that's enough to feel that stretch. Particularly if you're prone to hamstring cramping, this one can sometimes, it's my favourite stretch for the thigh muscles, the quadriceps that get super tight, but unfortunately it can cramp the hamstrings. I've never had it happen, I'm quite lucky, but I know a lot of clients that do. because obviously as you're lengthening one set of muscles, you are shortening the opposite ones. So just feel. So I'm going to just stay down, guys, just to, in case you were struggling with getting that leg up. If you weren't, sorry, then just go back up into taking that one and externally rotating. Otherwise, come straight into pigeon stretch. Take it out to the side, and again, try and get that into the right angle and come down. Oh, I needed this. I've promised a hip recording today. So, or hip stroke bar, do a little bit of a combo. So I might just do a little bit of low impact hit, high intensity low impact, so think fast but not so much jumping, a little bit of bar, which would make perfect sense to have done it the other way around, but I needed to stretch after yesterday as well. And then just bring it in, so hopefully my body is all lovely and warmed up. And pull. And I'm just going to do, just for the feet, before we get up, guys, a really nice one. I mean, you can always just sit like this and just come forward, present the chest, feel that stretch in the back of the legs, and restart back up. But if your legs are particularly tight, best way to do it is with the band, but you can do it without as well. So anyway, just my classes, we do this pretty much every session. Keeps my feet normally injury free and my calves, so I don't hobble down the steps like an old woman, even though I am. No, just a baby. And in and out. Yes, I'm my best buddy. We don't know whether to call her glam gran or naughty nan. Depends if she's had a glass of wine in her. Beginning of the night, she's a glam gran, turns into a naughty nan. And then circle, when the kid enjoys, she'll probably do this one, she likes stretches. There's more chance you're doing this one, babe, than, So again, we're just circling. So the one that I took in, that's just inversion and eversion. That feels like it's pretty much sorted my foot out already. And doesn't help that my feet are cold, it's freezing in here today. And then again, you can just gently come in. And then back, and then out to the side. So just to let you know, guys, as well, just I've put a couple more Zooms on this week. If anyone who can't make class, it's great to see you on class. If anyone just wants any of the recordings, I send them out to the people that do the class, but if anyone else wants them, just give me a bell. And again, flex and point, flex and point, flex and point, flex and point, and then turn it in and away. Good, and just gently out to the side, into that inner thigh stretch. Abby, if you're still watching, these ones will be good for Chris actually. Told him he's got to stretch more. And over. From the sciatic nerve stretch, you can always go into a spinal stretch as well, guys. That's really nice. As you take it out. And that actually does get up into the mid-thoracic as well. And gently back. I'll just do on the other side, just so we're even. Straighten. And gently back. And just remove. And then again, gently over to the side. And just come up into your standing position. And up. Oh, legs feel so much better. And just one more, just for ITB, so the iliotibial band. So we're just going to take it out and just push across into the hips as well. And the other side. You can do this with the feet crossed like we're going to do in a sec. And just notice how much tension we can carry through the side of the body. So you can do that stretch like that, yeah, with the feet crossed, and the other side again, but we're just going to do this into roll down again, more for ITB, the iliotibial band. Take the hips back, the chin to chest, gently down to the floor. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the session I would have struggled getting down. I felt very tight. Take a breath in. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last one, breath in. Slowly restack. I have no idea how long I've been here doing this session. And again,